That sound right there is the blissful sound of compression. Some of us golf instructors will call it audio, if you will. And I know a lot of you go to your local driving range or go to your club and you hear all of these young studs and studettes just compressing the life out of the golf ball. Whoosh, that lovely sound. And you start getting yourself a little nervous because you know damn well that you don't make that sound. Today, I got a good drill for you. This is a very good drill that's gonna help you feel some dramatic differences between right and wrong. And you're gonna be able to turn those feels into movement very quickly. And you're gonna know in the first 3 to 5 swings if this is a drill that's designed for you. That's right. If you start seeing what I'm gonna teach you to see, you're gonna know that you can actually take this drill out to the driving range and start working it into your arsenal and start producing that lovely sound of compression and picking up more speed along the way. So hopefully you're ready, because I'm ready. Let's get to work. Oh, by the way, welcome to My Golf DNA. If you are brand new on the channel, we are so happy to have you. If you would do me a big favor in this very moment, take a few seconds out of your day, go down below, hit the subscribe button, turn on your bell notifications, and if you like today's video and the drill works for you, hit the like button. It helps my psyche, helps me feel better about myself. My mom always hits the like button for me. She's good like that. And if you have any questions or comments on today's drill, post those up below. We'll help you out as best as we possibly can. Let's get to it. When you hear the term covering the golf ball, what you're gonna see from playing professionals is you're gonna see that their head and chest are down over the golf ball, and you're gonna see that their hands are a substantial amount in front of the golf ball at point of contact. For those of you that aren't covering the golf ball, what you're gonna see is most of the time you're gonna see a position like this from a face-on perspective where your spine is leaned back a substantial amount. And from a down the line perspective, what you're gonna see is that your spine is really upright. Both of those moves are considered catastrophic in the world of golf. Why? Well, because when you start leaning back, you're affecting the low point. When you start standing up and out of posture, you're now making the swing plane start to shallow, and that's forcing your hands to become really reactive. Now, both of these are really just a byproduct of where you're moving from in space. When you have more tilt to your spine, that's generally from your arms firing first in the downswing sequence. When you have yourself standing up out of posture, it stems from the same thing. Your arms and your shoulders fire from the top. You figure out ways to be able to shallow things back out. But we're gonna fix that today. And a lot of you are not going to like the exaggerated feel that comes along with this drill. But remember, in order for you to get better at the game of golf, and yes, I'm being long-winded, but I've got to give you this information. In order for you to get better at the game of golf, you got to have a whole lot of repetitions and hard work under your belt. You got to be working on the right things at the right time, and you have to be willing to push yourself to feel something that's opposite end of the spectrum from what you're currently doing. And you have to stay uncomfortable for an extended period of time. And if you put in the repetitions, you put in the work, you're gonna start to see some good stuff come out of this stuff. You got it? Okay, good. Now, important for you to understand that I'm not gonna hit a home run every single time I throw a drill at you guys. I want you to look at yourself and be accountable for what you are doing in a practice session to see if this is a drill that you should continue on with. So in the first 3 to 5 reps that you do with a drill of this nature, I want you to look at it on camera. I want you to see if your body position's in a better spot. I want you to see if you have more lag and more shaft lean, and I want you to see if you have a better exit point for your hands and your arms, all from this one little drill. This drill is going to look like this, but I'm gonna teach you very specific checkpoints here in just a moment. You're going to go from a 9 o'clock position, shift left to a very narrow position, pump back to 9 o'clock, open the hips up and extend. That's what the drill is going to look like. What we're gonna be focusing on from that 9 o'clock position when we're narrowing is we're gonna be thinking about getting our arm structure down in front of our body while our weight shifts back over to our lead side and our hips come back to virtually a square position. So what I want this to look like is from a static address position, I just want you to go ahead and make a small shift to your trail side and turn your body back to 9 o'clock. So when I say 9 o'clock, so lead arm parallel to the ground. From this position, what I want you to do is I want you to shift your weight back over to your lead side, and I want you to allow your arms to work all the way down in front of your body. Now, when you do this, you're gonna have some tension in your wrists because I want you to support the club head. I want you to make sure the club head does not get any lower than your hands. Is that in place? You betcha. Now, the second checkpoint here is going to be my trail elbow needs to be directly in line with the trail belt loop that I have on my pants. The other checkpoint you want to make sure that you have here is that your hips and knees are coming back to a square position with about 80 to 90% of your weight on your lead foot. You're going to feel very much on top of the golf ball. You're gonna feel from this position like there's no way in God's beautiful green earth that you're gonna have time to square the face up, or you're gonna have enough space for you to be able to get that golf club moving through there without it stuffing in the ground. I want you to feel the body in this position and the arm structure. That's how you're gonna encompass the narrow sort of sensation. You also wanna have some awareness of your wrists right now because you're trying to support the club. In just a minute, when we start to move through that position, I'm gonna ask that you release all that tension in the wrists as your arms start to work through that position so the club can do what it's designed to do. Golf clubs are designed to rotate. And I've got some shallowing moves that I'm gonna throw in here in just a moment. The golf swing is full of steepening and shallowing moves. I'm putting everything in the world in your golf swing as a steep component to it, but I'm gonna give you a shallow sensation that you're gonna feel through the hitting area. So what I want you to become proficient with before you start working on the second piece and before you start marrying these two things together is I want you to do a handful of reps where you make a small shift to your trail side, swing back to 9, shift your hips back to your lead side, bring your arms down in, okay? Feel on top of the golf ball. Feel your body in this position and check the golf club, the arms, the hips. Make sure you feel this position. Do it again. And just keep repeating this for several minutes so you know that you can hit these checkpoints with ease. Trail elbow, front of the belt loop. Wrists supporting the club. Arms should feel fairly relaxed. I'm not tense. Hips and knees are back to a square position with about 80 to 90% of my weight on my lead foot. Once you have that into your brain, let's start working on the wide piece. Now, what I want you to remember is that when you watch really good swingers of the golf club, when they get to impact, you're gonna see that their hands and their arms begin to release and extend out in front of their body. You're gonna see the wrists and the forearms rotated over the top of one another from here to here, all the way up to 3 o'clock. It's very dependent on the release pattern. What I want you to be able to do is by the time the club is parallel to the ground, I want your glove logo pointed directly behind you, and the toe of the club should be up to the sky, and then you can move your arms up to 3 o'clock. So you're gonna allow your wrists and your forearms to rotate. Now, when you do this, what I want you to remember is that your hips need to be open 45 degrees. So I first want you to go ahead and preset your hips open 45 degrees. I want you to take your wrists and your forearms and I want you to rotate them and extend them all the way to 3 o'clock. Now, to get comfortable with this second piece, we're gonna be doing it from our hands down in front of our trail thigh with our weight mostly on our lead foot. From this position, we're gonna go ahead and open the hips up. Okay, try to stay down over the golf ball. Hands and arms are gonna rotate and extend. And I want you to do this for several minutes. Open the hips up, let the wrists uncock, let the wrists and forearms extend. Now you've got the wide sensation. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna start to marry these together, but we're gonna do a set of 5 of these pump drills, and then we're gonna look at it on camera. And if we see some positions starting to come to light here, then this is a drill that I want you to continue on with. Now, very important that you understand, when I have you pump back to 9 o'clock, and I have you starting to shift and open your hips up, I want you, as soon as your arms get down in front of your body, I want you to let the tension come out of your wrists, the tension come out. I want you just to feel like you're literally trying to hang on to the club in the lightest possible way. Trust the golf club to do a lot of the work for you. If you're tense and you're over the top of the golf ball like I have you, then there's a pretty good chance that you're not gonna be able to let the club fully release and you might stuff it in the ground. We're not gonna try to move away from this because of your tension in your hands and your arms. That's what a lot of people will battle with. They're afraid to let the club go. It's gonna do a lot of the work for you. So I'm gonna do a set right now and I want you to be able to practice this on your own. So we're gonna go ahead and go 9 o'clock, narrow, arms down. We're gonna pump back, stay down, hips open up, let them extend. Stay down in the shot as long as possible while your hands and your arms are extending through to 3 o'clock. Hips need to open up, arms need to pass in front. So 9 o'clock, narrow, pump. Not working at kamikaze speed here, I'm just working at a comfortable speed. So that's rep number 2. Now, stop doing what you're doing. Go look at the camera, set one up face on and then one down the line. I want you to look at your impact position first. I want you to see if the lead side of your body is stacked up and not leaning back. If it is, you're continuing on with the drill. If you see that your hands and your arms are maintaining and preserving lag on the way down, you're continuing on with the drill. If you see that your hips open up and you extend your arms through the point of contact, you're continuing on with the drill. Those are the only 3 things that I want you to look for. If you have those positions achieved, then your golf swing is much easier for any golf instructor to manage over the long haul. Now, let's say you continue on with this drill. You're ready to take it out to the range. What I would suggest that you do is do 2 pump reps and then go ahead and reset yourself. Stay committed to what you're seeing and what you're feeling, and then just try to hit a golf shot from 9 to 3 and see what happens. Back check it on camera, make sure your practice reps are still looking good, and then look at your golf ball rep to see if the positions are starting to get better. Just know this, the positions aren't gonna look perfect, but you're gonna have a way to start incrementally moving in the right direction. That's what swing change is all about. Don't try to bite it all off in one day. Work hard, work smart, and make sure that you're pushing yourself to feel the radical differences in change. And you got this. So let's go through a rep where I'm gonna hit a golf ball here. I'm gonna do a 1-to-1. That is compression. Very, very good, solid contact on a very small swing, and the golf ball for a 6-iron went a pretty long ways. This drill is designed to give you some differences in feels. It's designed to give you some movement back to it. Go be accountable for your actions, go watch the video and see if you're ready for success. Hopefully you guys get some good success with this. Let's get out there and start playing some good golf.